Welcome to Shade in the
City.
City. I'm your girl, Treese.
It's no.
And, well, I think we've already said Happy New Year, but Merry New Year, y'all. Welcome to 2023. And welcome to our review of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
The year of prosperity.
Peace and abundance, because that's what it's giving.
I don't care about that. Prosperity.
Abundance and abundance of money would be prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so.
No, you said peace.
Some of us want peace, okay? She's out here living like Mel. She don't want no peace. She going straight to hell.
Peace.
So
I got peace.
Y'all, let's get into it.
Some change.
I can't. Y'all, let's get into it. And like I said, we're doing Love and Marriage Huntsville, part 1 of the reunion, season 5. Just want to shout out my cousin Alicia. Make sure you guys go visit Stamped by Alicia and get your Shade in the City hoodies. Yes, and you will find her information to her Instagram in the description box. But y'all, let's get into it. It's been a while since we've been together, and let's get shady. Oh, we don't have to do that. Love it. We're gonna start at the reunion. Everybody's showing up. Carlos goes to check in on Kimmy and Maurice and ask, what are your goals for tonight? And Kimmy says she likes to sit back and watch the fireworks.
I know that's right.
Okay. Now he goes to see Marceau and Tisha and says that, this season was explosive and believes it's because of her. And Tisha, Miss Wanda was also in the room.
Yeah, that she's responsible for the dynamite.
Right. Now Tisha interjects and it's like, no, that was Mr. T. That was Mr. T running around starting shit. She was the one that was explosive. I said, well, now he goes and he tells Mel that the goal for tonight is love. And he asks, is that your goal, Mel? Mel said her goal is to go low. She said, no offense to Michelle Obama, because we love her over here. But she ain't trying to channel that energy today. Okay, she says she's going straight to hell. All right. Now, Carlos cracks up and says that must make him the devil in red. Okay. Now, Maurice says he wants to make sure he answers every question. He walks in on Martell speaking with Sheree and decides to take the phone and get the tea on the type of guy Martell is. And we do hear Sheree, oh, he's such a great guy. He's not who he appears to be on TV.
He's a good dad.
He's a good dad. And
he was like, oh, you're going to get a ring for that.
But then Carlos asked Sheree if she loves him, if she's in love with Martell, and it goes radio silent. I believe she hung up on him.
She hung up. She was like, hello? Click.
And just if you guys have not been into, because I stay in these streets, not like that, but y'all
in the streets, not for the streets,
right? YouTube streets. So as y'all know, I was gonna say Marceau, Jesus, these M's.
Maurice,
Martell, and Sheree did spend New Year's together. She took a lot of pictures of them together, posted it, looked real cozy and cute. But as I told Nails, I said, why we didn't tag Martell? That's your man's and them. You had tagged everybody else in the photo. Why you ain't tagged Martell? But y'all cute though. So then Carlos kicks off the show asking if there's any linebackers there tonight. I said, oh, we starting off with the shade.
Right.
Then he opens up the show with the cast showing off their business ventures. And Carlos says, regardless of how they feel about each other, personally, he thinks that they can all say that they are proud of what the other castmates have accomplished. Now, Carlos notices Mel isn't clapping. So, he's like, kind of looks at her like, why you got this RBF face? And Mel says, that she brought this up last year and gave everybody their flowers. And basically it was never aired. So this year, she doesn't care what anyone else is doing. Straight like that. That's what if she would have had a glass of wine, that's what she would have did. So Maurice jumps in and he's like, I'm so proud of everybody this year, last year. And Mel's like, that's good for you.
Maybe you should let your actions show that.
Well, but he lets her know he does support her. He even downloaded her song to give her a stream, although it was about his boy.
Martell was like, why you do that?
Right. And then he goes on to say that everyone watching is watching success through perseverance, which is true. And I think that is, we have watched them long enough. We've seen their ideas and things that they've thought about come to fruition. So I do think that is beautiful.
And once again, Mel is over there giving the side eye.
She's rolling her eyes.
She's talking about his MLK speeches. He always giving these MLK speeches. I said, Mel was on one.
Right. So then Kimmy asked Mel to clarify what she means by letting their actions show it. And Mel goes on to say that Kimmy and Maurice recently apparently did an interview, which this is one time my ear wasn't to the streets because I didn't catch this one. And she didn't like how Maurice tried to downplay her relationship with Kimmy or her friendship with Kimmy, because they've always had a relationship off camera, which I feel like that is very true. Mm-hmm. And apparently this bothered Tisha because Tisha's eyes was just circling the back of her head too.
I think Mel just bothers Tisha.
Yeah, just her presence. Her presence. So Maurice says he still feels that her and Kimmy are not close friends. And Mel tells him that he needs to mind your business. Just mind your business. And Kimmy interjects by saying she believes social media kind of hyped up what Maurice said. Mm-hmm. Now, Kimmy tells Mel that, you said the same thing in interviews that we're not close. We're not the hangout type. We're not the hangout type of friends. Mm-hmm. But what Maurice said was a little bit more, or could have been taken. What she said was as distasteful.
What she said was the comparison. Mel said she was mad about the comparison.
Right. Oh, because he said he talks to Martell all the time. And
they hang out. They go to the movies and they check in on each other. And that's basically not what Mel does.
Right. Then Carlos asked Kimmy straight up if she considers Mel a friend. So Kimmy does say no one on the show is like her bestie. Mm-hmm. But she does consider Mel a friend. When she needed something, it happened. No questions asked. Mel checked in on her, sent flowers, and those are the things that she looks for in someone she calls a friend. Mm-hmm. Mel says that's why she was offended when Maurice answered that in an interview, because her friendship with Kimmy is between her and Kimmy.
What I like that Kimmy said was, she says, we can't just keep writing everybody off because of a statement that we made.
Okay.
And Mel made a statement that Maurice was the least relevant cast member on the nightcap.
Yes, he did. I remember. Yeah. I did watch that. I watched that one.
Now, Mel ain't get into all of that. I know this when this turned on Mel, she, sweet and innocent. But anyway,
we team Mel over here, but I'm not gonna lie to you.
Team right, and I really like Kimmy, so
I'm team unbiased, and unfortunately, I play devil's advocate for y'all. And in this one, I'm not gonna say Mel was wrong, but she wasn't on her best behavior at all. It's hard. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. It's gonna be hard for me to defend her this whole episode.
I expected more.
I did too.
Carlos just kind of mentions that, they throw like fun shade back and forth to each other, but together they still resolve like bigger issues, Then he moves on to Tisha and Marceau and asks about Scott Manor, which people are calling
and
Neverland.
What the hell is taking so long?
Basically, it's Neverland at this point. So they're basically saying that, they're making it perfect for them. And those things take time. Basically, it's going to be worth the wait. Okay. Carlos let her know that everyone was shocked to find out she was the majority stakeholder of Scope.
I think we all were.
Yeah. Since everybody thought, she was just a housewife. And how did she go about doing that? She said, basically, I just bought Martell out and changed a little paperwork. That's all. And basically
it wasn't hard to buy now this is the shade for me.
Well, she said it was pennies on the dollar because it was the
negative.
In the negative. And now it's a multi-million-dollar business. And basically Martell said that was the worst decision that he ever made. Now I like that Martell kind of defended himself with this. Right. Martell said, if anything, she should be thanking him because that's the way businesses go for the first 5 years, to see a profit of your business. And of course it was in a negative. It says that's how Holt and Holt was as well. So boo, basically he's saying, I knew that it was in a negative. I knew I sold the seed for pennies on the dollar, and I knew that it would make a profit. It would turn a profit, and I let you.
Oh, that's what it's given.
That's what he was. Now whether it was true or not, I do not know. But that's what I got from what
the
he
man
said.
without the builder's license. Okay.
He was still making the money. Okay, he was still making some money.
Or it was Mel with the license? Because what happened to Holt and Holt now? Where's your Holt and Holt money?
Or did he lose that in the divorce? No. Okay. Well, this was before.
And it's not hard to lose when you don't have the credentials to have it in the first place.
I thought you was Team Martell.
I'm never Team Martell.
I mean, you be I feel so bad.
I feel bad for him, but you know,
just humanly grace, huh? That's all it was.
You gotta give people grace. I'm
I'm
trying to be better in 23.
Mel says that she doesn't know anything about the numbers for Skull, but basically, because of her connections, she was able to get them some nice size jobs. So she I helped them get in pocket too. Okay. Carlos asked Marceau, has his feelings changed with Tisha, putting down a pen and picking up a tool? And he says, no, not really.
He still don't want to work with her.
He still don't want to work with his wife. It's difficult for him. And Tisha basically, she wants somebody to reach out.
She would like to talk to some other successful couples and give them insight.
Well, no, she wants to get some tips and tricks on how to separate the business from home. Honey, please. So Carlo asked about the lawsuit going on with Scolt and another corporation. Marceau says that it's hurtful and embarrassing because it's something that happened, and says, I guess this is one of the reasons why he went on the Africa trip. And Martell, of course, with his, I think he picked up some tips and tricks from Mel. He tries to shade them. And it's like, oh, that's the reason why he went on a trip? That's why he took some time away from home? It's because of
and Tisha's like, yes, he was really going through it.
She was like, well, at least he wasn't shooting in the jail. Well,
he might not have been in the gym. He was on a safari. But anyway, so.
No, you ain't going to be taking no bitches on no trips now.
I'm just saying.
I need to be able to reach your ass. At least I can reach him if I get to the gym.
Now, Tisha says that she did question why he wanted to go alone at first, especially since they always wanted to go as a family. However, once he explained how stressed out he was over the project, she understood. And she said she trusts her husband and she wouldn't be with him if she didn't. Now, Carlos, being messy, asked Kimmy her thoughts and if she would be okay with Maurice going to Africa. She said, no, before you even get the question, no.
Period.
No, that's a hard no for me.
And nobody would.
Well, now Carlos moves on and he points out how a lot of people and viewers feel the same way Kimmy does. And, he being as smart as and Tisha being as smart as she is, they thought it was a little naive of her to say if Marceau was cheating, God would reveal it to her. Now, Tisha says these rumors have been going on since 2018 and still nothing has been revealed to her. So she brings up how when Martell got caught, everything came out. And so I was like, why do you have to keep your situation is your situation?
She did that because Martell is the one that brought up the whole thing.
I guess so. So she brings how, when Martell got caught up, everything came out. And she finds it hard to believe with the 20 girlfriends that Marceau was supposed to have that there's no receipts. I'm gonna give it that. But you might just got a slick one. And honestly, I do believe Marceau is a slick one. She also brings.
I just believe it's not actually 20 girls, but I believe it's a few. And they're on the payroll.
Right. She also brings up how if Mel and Martell had any proof, they would have put it out by now. So when Carlos presses her, if she truly believes her husband is faithful, she goes on to say that she sees what Mel and Martell put out about each other, and she knows that if they knew something, they would have put it out. I don't think she really answered the question, and I'm going back in my notes. I'm just saying, because I'm looking for it, and I'm like, did I skip over something? So now Martell is taken back by her accusations, and he's like, Tisha says that Martell texts her receipts and says Marceau had been with the woman for over 4 years and he bought her a Mercedes.
And says there's still no receipts.
Oh, so he told her that.
Yeah, he sent her a text telling her that. But first of all, if I'm Marceau, what type of homeboy are you to me?
Right.
And Mr. Oh, I'm not out here snitching on you and we got a pact and I ain't telling no business and all this other stuff. But you out here sending text messages to my wife talking about I've been with a woman for 4 years and I bought her a Mercedes.
What do they do?
And
what do they do?
And you trying to get into business with me, knowing you a whole snake. Boy, stop.
What do they do? What do they do?
Not that.
At Christmas.
This damn.
That's my favorite part of the song, y'all. I'm sorry. So anyway, and I would have probably, there's no sense of loyalty between these men. So Martell says he doesn't recall saying that at all. And Tisha makes a good point. What woman divorces her husband based off hearsay? Carlos jumps back to Mel and asks her about telling Tisha that Marceau has cheated on her and if she was lying.
I got to take it back to Chris Rock. Was it Chris Rock that said it? Has somebody been calling you a crackhead for 20 years? You're a crackhead.
Well, so Mel says, of course, she wasn't, and insinuates that Carlos is actually privy to some of the cheating rumors as well. Which Carlos looking at her, he said, "No,
not I.
Not me. Don't give me.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know."
And Carlos denies having any knowledge. And Mel says, "I was on the phone with you
when the girl was next."
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. In this moment, I felt like I understand
like she was reaching.
Not only reaching, I felt like, you know how when you got a close friend, but y'all like in front of other people, I feel like she was like, "Yeah, remember I was in the car with you." Like that's what it was giving.
Well, what you not about to do is make me look like a liar after I done said I ain't never been privy.
I
ain't never been around.
So then, but that's why I said, because this is the funny part, because then Carlos all of a sudden he pauses and starts to think about it. Before he had no knowledge.
My thing is, how the hell I know who you with?
And then, so Mel tries to re-jog his memory by letting him know, remember early on the show when the girl was in the car with me? That's what it was giving. Tisha then suggests that this is someone Mel paid to try to get them on the show. So Mel denies ever trying to pay anyone to bring them on the show. And Tisha says she did, and that she paid multiple people, which Mel tells her, that's alleged. Allegedly. You could tell, I'm sorry, Mel. That face gave it away. You did it. You did it.
No, she said something like,
she said that's because that's just like when we say something and then we like allegedly. That's what Mel did.
What Mel said was that they was like planning a girls trip and she asked the girl if she wanted to go. And the girl was like,
but she was supposed to talk to Tisha.
No, yes. The girl said she was going to talk to Tisha and say, "Oh, I didn't know that he was married, blah, 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 but I'm going to need a check." And
to
Mel,
keep my mouth shut.
No.
Oh, to keep on the show.
To go on the show. And Mel was like, "Oh, you need to talk to production about that." So
she was like, "I ain't got that power."
So basically, Mel is saying, like, I wasn't trying to pay her. The girl wanted to get paid. And I told her to go see production about it. So.
Well, now Carlos breaks up the back and forth and does say that there was a woman that came out that said she was cheating with Marceau. And Tisha says because Mel tweeted that. And then the girl apparently ended up calling Tisha because her and Mel were best friends and apologized to Tisha because she was so upset that Mel put her in that situation.
And it lied on her. She would have never did nothing like that. She ain't never messed with her husband and all this other mess.
And said Mel offered her $5,000 to come on the show. And she told Tisha, honestly, if it would have been a little bit more money, I might have did it.
What do they do?
What do they do? I'm just saying. Marceau starts to question as an intelligent adult, how would Mel know what this girl was going to come on and say? Mel, now I'm not going to lie. Marceau was holding her feet to that fire. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought that was a stupid question. Just
Mel responds, because we've had conversations. And Marceau questions, well, how did that start?
Who gives a fuck?
Basically, he's saying, like, you planted the seed and then.
No, that's my homegirl. This is my homegirl. She knows who I hang around. She knows who she's dating behind the scenes. It's gonna come up.
Well, Marceau lets her know if she's going to tell a story, she needs to tell the story all the way. And Mel tries to be clear, and Marceau lets her know you're not really being clear at all.
You know what I would have said? You know what I would have said if I was Mel? Maybe they should make a budget for her. She can come on the show and tell the story her damn self. How about that?
It was an off-camera meeting, and everybody nods that there was, before the season started, that there were going to be certain things that weren't discussed and things that were off limits. Martell then takes the opportunity to bring up how Kimmy didn't want anybody talking about Maurice hanging out till 4 a.m. Kimmy admits she did say that. Woo, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I love me some Kimmy. Love me some Kimmy. I guess you pick and choose your battles. So that's one I'm a pick. So Kimmy admits she did say that, and Carlos asked Kimmy why that's an issue for her, and she says because it can be misleading to women, and I understand exactly what she's talking about, and she just doesn't like it. I'm with you, Kimmy.
Carlos, meaning that we would think that he's a
cheater, that you're unhappy, you're out till 4 a.m. without your wife, so it makes it look like just that you're in the streets. It could give that perception to other women.
Which means for you to think that it would give us that perception, it gives you that perception.
Well,
but we pick our own battles. So.
Right. We pick and choose our battles. That's why I said that would have been a battle for me. But okay. They bring up rumors about sex parties at Credit One after hours. I said, where the hell did this come from? I never heard about this. Apparently
Credit One turned into Take One,
right? If y'all ain't know, look, y'all can tell we've been to Miami. If y'all don't know where Take One is, 79th Street. Anyway, so Maurice says that he's been doing his homework, and some people may find themselves in a lawsuit. I said, ooh. Kimmy interjects and says she had an office above Credit One, so Marceau, Maurice, and Martell would hang out there. Now, this is where it started to not make
I know
sense.
She said there was no sex parties, but they would all hang out together. And that's part of the reason they
wanted Black, because they wanted a place
for them to hang out. Like listen to music
and play cards. So Carlos asked her, well, listen to music and play cards. And then Carlos tells Kimmy, even as a gay man, sweetheart, men aren't hanging out after hours listening to the Renaissance album. Okay. Now, Carlos insinuates that clearly they have a level of respect because they won't go past a certain level with each other. And Tisha and Marceau disagree and say that's not true. If they, obviously referring to Mel and Martell, had information, they'd release it. And I'm like, are we still on this? So Martell is shocked again that he's thrown into the vein.
Who are they?
Right.
Why are you saying they?
And then Marceau was like, but weren't you the one that brought up the 20 women thing? They? What do they do? What do they do? Okay.
Basically, he says that, at the end of the day, there's things that guys together, they would do, but never expose.
Right.
Therefore, he shouldn't be put with Mel and what she exposes. Sir, you sent his wife a whole text about what he's doing. I mean, really. So Carlos asked Martell if there was any truth to the 20 women accusation. And, Martell over there started mumbling and fumbling all over his words. And Carlos says, has he been with one woman since he's been married? And Tisha says, yeah, me. I'm the one.
Right.
The champ is here. Okay. And Martell says he ain't gonna say nothing. He's like, I ain't gonna speak on it. It's giving sus.
So then Carlos asked them about an apartment together. I said, it just gets messier, y'all.
I feel like I heard about that before, though. But I think Miss Wanda brought it up.
Right. So they did not ever have, just cut it short.
I think her ears be to the straight.
Yeah, they did not ever have an apartment together, but then Maurice steps in and basically owning anything outside of Sculpt together. Maurice then jumps in and said, well, no, we own Stag Run.
It was, I was like,
and Kimmy corrects him and says, we all own the piece of that. Stop it. But I get where Maurice was coming from, because people will take one thing, because that's why he said, I'm going to make sure I answer every question, because he lied last reunion and said he wasn't at the house in Atlanta and whatever. So that's why he said this one, I'm making sure I answer every question.
How about you just not lie?
Well, that part. Well, he thought by not really saying anything.
But you said you weren't there, so you did say something, you lied.
I was trying to help you, Maurice. I was trying to help you.
Just kept your mouth shut. That's different, but you literally out and out lied, so that's totally different.
And Carlos lets him know he doesn't have any pacts with any one of them on that stage. He says from the outside looking in, he does believe there is some truth to some of the rumors that they have put out.
He said as a man with common sense. Now,
right.
The fact that he said that, I said,
he tells Tisha, and I love when he did this. He tells Tisha he thinks she is a woman who was learning her worth in life, and she wants to make sure her husband is believable, because if the truth ever came to her, she might not ready to face reality. I said, what do they do? What do they do? I said, damn, Carlos, you said what everybody was thinking.
I said,
he must have been, look, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Look, drop the mic.
Right. I ain't gonna lie to you though. Carlos do be on Twitter when the show be on, because he done retweeted a couple of my things. So he be listening to what the viewers be saying.
I was about to say, so he catching all of that.
Yeah, he be listening.
He like, I like your questions, but we're gonna add this in.
Right. So Tisha says that she found out her husband was cheating. Of course she'd be hurt, but she's built her life around him. And she says if Martell came to her with proof, she believe it, but she hasn't gotten that. And Carlos questions her about the whole hanging with Chris Fletcher. And she says, Chris said that he was with him. And then they were like, but he said he was only with him for 2 hours. She said, he was with him and I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna sit beside him. You see him, you see me.
Yo.
Okay. So Carlos asked if she found out he cheated, no matter what the time frame, would she leave him? And she says that she would handle the situation, and most likely they would break up because that's a non-negotiable for their marriage. She says she's never cheated on her husband and expects the same loyalty and respect from him. Now, Carlos is happy that they addressed it, and then brings out Keke and Miss Wanda. It's about to get real messy.
Well, because they messy.
About to get real country bumpkin in this bitch. So apparently this is Keke's first reunion, and she's excited. So Carlos is like, give it about 20 minutes. Let's see. They run back through the drama that they went through during the season, and Carlos says the most asked question is for Mel and why she decided to invite Tisha's cousin Keke. So Mel explains that she knew Keke first, actually. She does admit that she wanted Keke to come on the show and share her experiences about how Tisha moves funny. And Marcel takes a shot at Mel, and she starts to go in how they tried to bring people on the show to come for her as well. And Tisha tells Mel, no. And so she's like, let's focus on the Keke situation. We're here for Keke right now. And she said, oh, yeah, because you have other people do your dirty work for you. And obviously, we know she's referring to Miss Wanda.
So I know Tisha reminded Keke that she told her that Mel has somebody that works at the Huntsville courthouse and got somebody to pull up Tisha and Marcel's records.
So if y'all don't know, if y'all was not in tune, y'all, again, I'll be in these YouTube streets.
But Keke don't remember that.
Over the summer, I don't know if this is before or when this happened. I do know that over the summer, all of a sudden, Tisha's arrest records, Marceau's arrest records, all of a sudden, all this became, I mean, it was public information anyway, but somebody felt the need to dig it up and make it even more public and talk about how, oh, they must not have money and she broke and she's shoplifting. Remember I told you that she got caught shoplifting and whatever. And they were like, oh, they were struggling and whatever. And a lot of people did say, rumor had it, I'm not saying allegedly, because I don't know who started the rumor, but rumor had it was that it was Mel that paid somebody, some blogger, which Mel, you ain't never done it for us, but if you want to do it, slide me a little more. I'll do whatever investigation you want me to do. Okay. We slide in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. Okay. But no, you know, Mel be tight with these bloggers. So if she has something she want to get out and release, and think about it, it's more popularity for you if you're the first one to release it. So that's why I said, Mel, you can slide in my DMs, give me some information. I'll be the first one to do it. I'm just saying. But that's just alleged. I'm not saying you did it. That's just, if you do that, what would I do?
I was about to say.
But that's the whole sting. So I believe that's what she was referring to. It may be something else, but anyway.
But you know, Keke caught a case of amnesia. She don't remember what the hell.
I don't remember saying anything like that. Who said that?
So, you know, Tisha get up, she upset, Marcel followed behind her. And guess what, y'all? This woman came back with puppets.
Sesame Street on your ass.
She came back with one of Mel. Remember when Mel? The short little blonde haircut, and one of Keke. It was too much. It was too much.
Mel said, get some kids out on the stage. She really needs somebody to entertain. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie. The only person that really did not seem entertained by this was Keke, because Mel was laughing her ass off. Like, everybody genuinely, I think, thought it was, because it was so petty, it was funny. Like, you went through.
I didn't think it was funny.
I laughed because I was like, you went through all this. Like, I could see why Mel was laughing. Like, but you did all this for me.
I think. Let's not get it. I don't know. I think I just.
But no, was it entertaining? Was it?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. But it was. I think it was entertaining to see Mel's reaction.
I think.
To it.
I think more of Tisha than for her to go pull out some puppets. Like, you bought these puppets. Like, you took time and planned this.
She thought, look, she thought she had something.
You're such an educated woman, and all these degrees you got, and
Tisha, you could have saved you a lot of money. This is how you know. This is how you know she ain't watching enough TV. Tisha, go back and just watch your Real Housewives. Girl, all you needed was a notebook. You ain't even had to go get no pup. Just pull out your notebook and read a bitch to death. You ain't even got to get no extra props. Or be like Drew, go get some dog bones. Save yourself some money. She better start watching her Real Housewives. Because that, baby, that was a miss. You thought it was going to hit. It was a miss.
It didn't hit. It didn't hit with me. So Carlos let them know that while they were gone, basically Keke did relay that she had a conversation with Mel, and Mel was asking about the car accident that Marceau was in, and wanted to know whether it was his sports car or his truck.
Now, I did feel like that was kind of nosy. Why is that your business?
Well, what Martell said, the reason why she wanted to know was because she wanted to know if whatever he was driving, could he afford it?
No, Martell didn't say that.
Not Martell.
Keke said that he said that. Marceau believes that because that's what he said that's what Keke came and told him. And then Carlos.
But Keke also said that Mel did ask if he can afford it.
And Mel said, I never said that. She said people can afford all types of, I would never say that. People can afford. And then Carlos was like, I forgot. But Carlos was like, Keke, it seems like you doing a lot of double agent stuff. And she was like, I just wanted
to be transparent
and Tisha to know, you know, that my friendship with Melody would never
a threat.
A threat. Y'all, it was just getting, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't it was like, you messy, but you know you messy. But I at least can appreciate you coming on stage and owning your messy. But, you know, it is what it is. It was messy.
So Carlos asked about this beef between Tisha and Keke and says, have they always been beefing? And she says no. Tisha says no, that they've been close for 13 years. And, you know, Keke always had a small mouth though. And, you know, she says that they really, you know, they used to argue, I think at the age of what, 14 or something like that.
14.
Yeah, then you know, start,
you know, you start smelling yourself.
Exactly.
You know,
they used to argue, go back and forth, and they would fight. But there was always love there. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know,
she feel like she, you know, the girl betrayed her.
And look, and Keke, I guess Keke is just hung up on this whole puppet thing. She's like, you know why ain't nobody's puppets? Look, Tisha just like, yeah, boo, that's why I was disappointed in you, because I mean, you over here acting like Mel's puppet, and you know, and you know, she says that she felt like she purposely tried to hurt her by talking about her marriage. Now, she says that when Mel asked her the question, she paused before answering it because she knew what you know her cousin was dealing with, and she didn't want to throw her or Marcel under the bus. Carlo asked Keke if Tisha ever said anything about Marcel cheating on her or speculated cheating. Keke says no, she's never told her anything, but there were doubts in the marriage, and she did have to confront a situation before the show. Tisha says that she found a picture of a naked girl in Marcel's phone. This is all apparently before the show started. And of course, these motherfuckers. Because that's how they do this.
What do they do? What do they do?
Some bullshit.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in to another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 5, Part 1 reunion. Please make sure, if you have not already, that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And y'all, like I said, please make sure you stop by our girl's Instagram, stampedbyalicia. Get your Shadeinthecity hoodie. And we don't have our glasses today. Sorry, we're bad promotion. Sorry, Alicia.
Well, I mean.
But yeah. But yes, and yeah, thank you guys, and get ready because the shows are coming back. We will be hitting you with Married at First Sight. I am excited because it's a bunch of new group of fools. I always get excited in the beginning, and then by episode 7, I'm done. New fools. So yes, I'm excited about Married at First Sight. So that review will be coming shortly, and then we also have Ready to Love coming back Friday, y'all. So you're getting a lot more of us. You're gonna miss us, but we'll be here in our Shadeinthecity hoodies to give you, you know, give you that review, keep y'all laughing, and keep you entertained. So thank you guys. You have a good night, and we will catch y'all later this week with more reviews. Love you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.